All right, Steve Denise here, Director of Market and Product Development, Mazek Seeds, joined by agronomy lead extraordinaire, Henry Prinzen. Henry, we're in a field of corn. You know, we're at that stage where a lot of guys are looking at their post-emerge herbicide applications. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, we got to, the basics, Steve, right? Let's keep these fields clean from the start. You know, a lot of guys, if you're set up right, this is kind of the story. We're in 4-leaf corn, maybe 3 collars, really V3. Let's keep those weeds out, keep that field clean through that critical weed-free period, right? So these fields that we have that setup rate on of whatever it be, let's make sure we get back in there, clean them back up. It's also a good time at this stage for those fields where we went with a full rate up front, an Acuron, a Corvus, maybe it was full rate Certain, whatever it be, we got to go back and let's just make sure those fields are actually clean. We can expect that they worked, but there were some pockets that were pretty dry. So did we get the activation of the herbicide before the weeds came up? Sometimes we see a little bit of reach back on some of those products just when they're really little. So maybe we'll get away with it, but let's keep an eye on that and see, hey, maybe we got to get the sprayer out and clean it up with Roundup. We hope not, but maybe we do. So those are the kind of things I'm thinking about. And, it's a great opportunity for most of our corn acres. Let's keep them clean so that next year when we're planting beans, it's just that much easier to keep those beans clean, right? And that's what we really need to look at when we have that systems approach of rotations too, is if we have these crops that are maybe easier to keep, broadleaves at bay, we need to do a really good job in our corn crop keeping it clean, or in wheat, keeping the wheat clean because it's cheap. That way when we plant corn or when we plant beans after our corn, we have cleaner fields and it's, a little easier to control. That saves us money and it saves us the headache of some of those hard to kill weeds.
And it's certainly, it's a critical tool to be out there keeping clean fields with some of this resistance.
Absolutely. With resistance, it's even more critical than it was before.
All right, weed control top of mind this time of year. Thanks, Henry. That's our AgroMinute for today.